thing. So he's a legend.
Like I
across
said,
board.
Nelly doesn't fit the demographic. So
Of course, he didn't speak.
we'll let her pass.
Don't
No,
worry,
you see,
next time
Shatta Wale
I'll be
fans,
on your team.
like us, you have to also look a certain way. Yeah, you have to like you have to be a certain way. Nelly doesn't fit it, so we'll let her pass.
Because she's not, on your team.
no,
That's why you're
it's
saying what you're
purely a
saying. But that's
demographic
fine. I know it's
No,
you're
Nelly,
a sore loser, but that's
Shatta Wale is
fine.
large.
We're not saying he's
a
not.
legend.
We're not saying
he's
he's
a
not.
he's a legend.
He's a legend in the making.
And
He's
you
not
see
there
his
yet.
interior space. I'm sure you'll be proud of it when you see it. Like his studio entrance, which we'll be talking more about. Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
so let's go into our topic for today. What at all is, interior design?
So it basically your space, right? How you put your space together. People would just say, oh, this is my room, this is what it looks like, and I'm okay with it. But how do you then spec it up so that when people come in, or even when you come in, you're proud of what you see? Basically, that is what it is about. How to make it functional and aesthetically pleasing. So it goes hand in hand. You cannot choose one over the other. So it has to be functional, and then it has to be very, very aesthetically pleasing as well. So basically, that's what encompasses interior design. Yes.
And is it important to take interior design in your space seriously?
Absolutely. It is so important. The reason why I say it's important is over the years, I've realized that the way your space looks actually affects the way you feel. So just imagine you've come to work stressed out, things are not going the way you want it to go and everything, and then you get home and everything is scattered all over the place. You are looking for your remote, you can't find it. You're looking for your AC remote, you can't find it. It stresses you out even more. But imagine you come home to a beautiful space, a bit of accent color here and there to lighten up your mood, a bit of greenery to lighten up your mood. It changes everything.
Wow.
And you're excited to get home.
So if I get you correctly, it directly impacts on your mood.
Absolutely, it does.
I'll come back to you on colors, right?
Right.
Whether colors play a very important role in all of this that we are saying. But let me just still push a little bit on this whole functionality, aesthetics kind of thing. And to put you on the spot to ask that, what comes first, right? In the debate, really, and it's something I ask a lot of people, what should be priority in your opinion?
So, as an interior designer, I'll say you cannot choose. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, but like gun to the head. You have to, so functionality, aesthetics, like if we're working with a really tight budget, let's say, and you have to make a compromise. And I'm sure there are a lot of people in such instances and scenarios.
So I'll give the caveat that I don't think aesthetics should affect functionality, but in that case, obviously, functionality comes and then aesthetics, right? But especially if you get an expert, the person will be able to show you what to do so that although you want it to be functional, although you're tight on budget, it will still be aesthetically pleasing.
So that's where people like you come in.
Absolutely.
To merge
the two
together.
Yes.
Wow, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk to us about the colors as well.
Yes. So, we have different people. I think the way your space looks usually should be based on who you are as a person, right? We have people who are very reserved, very quiet. People like me, I don't really like a lot of colors, right? So people like that will go for neutral tones. So you're looking at brown, you're looking at beige, you're looking at those colors, right? And you can actually put a very beautiful space together without bright colors, so to speak, and you can just have a plant here and there to bring some life into the room, right? And then we have people who are very bubbly. So for those people, they may do some colors, just maybe gray couch with a yellow accent chair somewhere to pop a pop of color into the room, right? So it depends on who you are. We have other people who would choose to do pink and do yellow and do red, just like the set is, and it works absolutely. So I think it depends on who your personality really influences a lot when it comes to your personal space. Yeah, it does.
Right.
Yes.
So if I like pink or a certain color, can I do like pink throughout the whole house?
You can choose to do that. Even on TikTok,
Wouldn't that be too much?
Well, you see, for you, because you love it, it's okay for you. For me, when I come, I'll feel it's a bit too much. But you can there are tones of pink, right? So instead of using a very bright pink, you can tone it down, play along with the colors. So you can have baby pink here and there, like something to neutralize it doesn't have to be in your face. But regardless, you can work with colors in your space. It depends on what you like, and we can always put it together. Yes, and like he said, it has to be functional, because if you love pink, are you going to have a pink microwave? I've seen it on TikTok as well.
Even the food that she makes is pink.
She makes is pink and everything. So those are the things you consider. But at the end of the day, it has to suit you, your personal preference. Yeah.
You also talk about key design elements. That sounds like a mouthful. Yeah. So what exactly are you referring to when we say key design elements, considering the different kind of spaces we have. Especially in our part of the world, right? So you say there's single room, chamber and hall, single room, self-contained, 2-bedroom house, semi-detached. Like there are so many different classifications. So just talk to us about paying attention to the key design elements.
Absolutely. So regardless, if you have a studio apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment, a 4-bedroom duplex,
or a loft apartment. Actually, I need one. I need one for my tea.
I'll see you after.
Except that Endo says that you can't fry fish. You can't fry fish there.
You absolutely can. There are extractors. Really? Yeah, so that's where we'll get to. So let's start with if you're working with apartments. If you're working with apartments, usually you're going to have an open kitchen.
Okay.
Because the space is small, right? So what are the essential? When you come to your living area, you're looking at, you have to have a couch because people will come in, they need to sit down. You're looking at, if you entertain, you need a TV. If you have the budget, you can do a little console by the wall to make the place, elevate the place, right? And then we go to the kitchen area. Because it's an open kitchen, absolutely you need an extractor, because then you cannot cook like you're saying. You know, you can actually cook for money in a loft apartment.
You can do abenkwan.
Yes, you can
walk the abe.
You can do it.
Oh, Charlie, what are you telling me?
You can do it. You can do it.
And your couch will not start smelling so weird.
No, because you have an extractor. So what the extractor does is every heat that emanates from your cooking, it takes everything out.
But the abeno, you don't use
You use a food processor.
I was just about to say.
Well, that's
You use
the world
a
has
food.
advanced,
Yes, the
you
world
know.
has advanced. You don't need other.
yeah, but so if you don't, Charlie, if you don't,
it's not the same.
some
not
way,
the same.
yeah, some way.
He's a traditional man.
I tell you.
And that is why I think Shatawale is great,
Oh
but
my
never
word.
mind.
How emotional and thinking Shatawale is a legend.
Because why not? You know,
Traditional
He loves his shatawale. Yeah, so you need an extractor. You need, of course, a burner if you're going to cook and everything. Again, if it's an apartment complex, usually you need electrical burner instead of the gas, because then it's a whole lot,
it's a whole lot,
process. So you rather use that. You need a microwave. You know, those are the things essentially you need in
so
the
then
kitchen.
listening to you, particularly on this point, it's more towards functionality than aesthetics.
No, so then you come to how you now place it. Do you get it? So you and I will have loft apartment, right? When you come to my kitchen top, right? I have my microwave. I have the burner sitting there. The fridge is in some corner. That's me. Everything I have, you have the same thing. Now with yours, you've done carpentry, right? You have cabinets from floor to ceiling cabinets, from top of the wall all the way down. You have cabinets in there. The microwave is hidden inside one of the cabinets. The fridge, you've created a space, put the fridge inside. Your burner is also incorporated in your cabinetry, right? Both of us, which one would be more aesthetically pleasing?
I feel you.
And is it both functional? Yeah, they're both functional. So it's how you place them, how the concept of putting everything together. Because you may have more things than me, but the way I'll put mine together, it will
the
be
packaging.
Yes, it's all. Thank you. It's packaging.
No,
packaging.
be serious.
Yeah.
See, it's interesting we discussing this, right? Because a lot of people have so many bright ideas, but the implementation.
Absolutely.
So my next question to you is that, is it like a science, right? You were talking not too long ago about concepts. Because you go into some spaces, and I'm even referring outside.
Cluttered.
Eno has been like, it's a globe trotter, right?
As are you.
So you go to some spaces in Europe, even North America, Canada, for example, and they call it condos, right?
Yeah.
But like the way it's arranged, oh
Everything
goodness.
looks
Yeah,
good.
oh.
I
Oh,
know.
and you
And
see,
well
you come to
arranged
like,
too.
yeah, you come to like maybe a 2-bedroom house, 3-bed. It's not even like over here. It's not even like properly
Laid
put
out.
together like that, right? So, my question to you is there like some science to it? Do you go to school and say, "Child, I will study how to be an interior designer"? Is there some qualification you need?
Yes, for a professional, yes. You go to school, you learn a few things about design, where to put things, the floor plans, because to be able to do interior design, you have to understand the floor plans, right? And then you can know where to put everything. But you don't, just for your space, you don't need to do that, right? Again, we'll use a studio apartment. That's what you're calling a like just, this is it, right? You have a kitchen somewhere here, your bed is here,
Relax.
and then you have a couch.
The studio apartment is what we call chamber and hall.
No, studio apartment, everything is together. So
So-
one space, kitchen,
But
bathroom.
okay, so chamber and hall is different, right? 'Cause
Yes.
like there's
Yeah.
Chamber and
chamber-
hall is the one bedroom.
One bedroom.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay,
Studio,
okay.
everything is together.
Yeah, so chamber.
Yes, chamber. Chamber with a bed. Yes. But you see, what you can do is, so let's imagine
Yeah.
an empty space, just one bedroom. You have to use it as your kitchen, you have to use it as your bedroom, and then your living area. What you can do is, once somebody enters, you choose one side. That's where your kitchen is going to be, because you have limited space. Instead of just doing 2 cabinets here and there, you can do floor to ceiling cabinets, right? So you have enough storage space. And then to your left, you can put, like, again, if you have budget, you can do like a console where you can put your TV and everything, and just something like the 2-seater couch. Put it there. Get a plant. I keep telling people, you have no idea what plants can do in your space. It just elevates the space within seconds. Get a plant, put it by the couch. You get a small table, you get a tray. You know, we have these beautiful trays. You get diffuser, you put it there. If you have budget scented candle, you put it on there, and some small flower, put it on there next to it. It elevates the space. Then you can create maybe a bookshelf or something to separate the bed area from the living area. So although it's one space, you've been able to get a bedroom,
Like a
a
demarcation.
kitchen, and then a living space, all within 28 square meters, which is very small. So it's how you arrange the things, right? And those little things that will elevate. I keep saying things to elevate the space. Imagine we're sitting here and this table wasn't here. You know, it would be nice, but this elevates it, right? So it's just those little things that.
Must you always include like a plant? And I'm speaking for people who do not have green thumbs, like Jude,
Yeah.
who always kills any plant. So
That's not
does
true.
it
but
necessarily
That's fine.
does it necessarily have to be a real plant, or are there, there are things that are
Very
the plants that
close,
are they
yes.
look real but they aren't actually real?
So I usually would advise my clients that if you can, use real plants. The reason why I say that, plants emanate oxygen and take in carbon dioxide. So it purifies your space. The air quality in a room that has plants in there and the air quality in a room that doesn't have plants is not the same. So I usually say, if you can, do it. You can get a cactus. It's not difficult to take care. You cannot water a cactus for 2 weeks, 3
still-
weeks,
Sure,
and it will be
cactus,
fine, right?
Yeah.
So you can get, if you get the ones that are difficult to maintain, that's when they die.
when they die.
So you can get the very hard ones who
Okay.
they're very tough. They don't die easily, so you can get that. But if you cannot, you can do the artificial plants that look very real, because at the end of the day, we're looking at functionality, but we're also looking at aesthetics, right? So if you cannot get the real one, you get the fake one.
Right.
But it has to look real, right? And you put it in there.
Oh.
So I'm on a tight budget, but still now I want a bougie space.
You want a
How
bougie
do
space.
we work around that?
Okay, so then we have to look at the essentials. What are the essentials? I use someone who gets a lot of visitors. So number one, you have to determine your space. Your space will determine the kind of couch you can even buy. Is it going to be an L-shaped couch? Is it going to be the set with 3, 2, 1? Is it going to be the U-shaped huge one? Your space will determine that. So after you've determined that, then you decide on which couch shape to buy, right? After you've gotten that, of course, you're going to need a small table to elevate the space. Not so expensive. Again, I come to getting, if you're someone who read books, you can get 2 books, stack it on together, get a diffuser. Now there is this thing about home fragrance is now on the rise.
Yeah.
The way the room smells and everything, it makes it, there's a reason
There's
why
actually
when we
a question here
Oh,
asking
right.
whether, I want to know whether including air freshener and good lighting in your interior design has an impact on your mood.
It does. So home fragrance is becoming a big thing. There's a reason why when you go to hotels, you get excited and you're happy. Because first of all, our brain and our vision, they work together. What you see affects you whether you like it or not. So when you come into your space, right, the bed is laid. You have a beautiful pillow set in there. You have your diffuser. It depends on what you prefer. I like very zen fragrances, right? So maybe lemongrass.
Oh, I love lemongrass.
Yeah, you just put it there. So it's not so strong. So if somebody visits you and they have allergies, it doesn't affect them so much. But then the space smells really nice, right? Also in your kitchen, you can get a scented candle, maybe cinnamon scented candle. So it is for the kitchen, right? You put it on and it lightens your mood. It lightens your mood so much. So you get, like I was saying, you stack two books together, get your diffuser on, and maybe a flower. We have these flowers that if you go to these malls, you're going to get for less than 50 cedis. So good on the budget, right? You put it there next to your couch. You put your TV. I always say that just try and see where the power points are. Can it be covered by the TV? So you make sure that your power point is not below and then your TV is all the way up so that the wire is just dripping and everybody sees it, right? So it has to be under so that it looks clean, right? That's all you need.
And tidy, wow.
And tidy, and of course, if you have to spare, you get a rag.
Right.
Wow.
If you have to spare, right? Yeah.
My next question to you has got to do with also managing the ergonomics bit of it, right? So ergonomics in the sense that, so already you have a problem trying to deal with aesthetics functionality.
Yes.
Now, ergonomics in the sense of comfort of the chairs, right? Because you don't want to, out of budget constraints, right? Just buy something that will not help you in terms of posture, sitting arrangement, and how it can, because the last time we understood on the show that there's a relationship between some of these things, so like your sitting arrangements and how it affects your alertness and related stuff like that. So how important is it to factor that in that the chair you're sitting on, the bed you're sleeping on are of a certain standard, right? And not necessarily but because you want to meet certain
standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is important because at the end of the day, health first before anything else, right? So instead of buying maybe a huge couch because everybody's buying it and it will look nice in your space, but you know that the couch, when you sit in it, is too low, so your back hurts. Why don't you get a smaller couch that is more comfortable, right? So it is so important. You have to factor. So when you're putting a space together, there are 3 things you would have to look at. First thing is comfortability.
Okay.
Second thing is functionality. And then we come to the aesthetics of it, right? So again, this couch is low. Imagine you have a wall and your TV is all the way up because you feel like when the TV is high, it's nicer. So every time you're watching the TV, you're like this, right?
You're straining your neck.
You're straining your neck. So everything, it has to blend. They work hand in hand. Yes, they work hand in hand. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, those bean bags? Sometimes you just sink in it and it's so comfortable. People like to put them somewhere in their living rooms or in their bedrooms and they just sink in it and read.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was car tie. I don't know if you saw that thing. Yeah, like they have like an old worn-out car tie,
right.
and then they put like a glass. Some even put, like they repurpose
it.
They paint it, like make it look decent, right?
Yeah. We actually did one for a client.
So it's still in the system?
Yeah, it's still just that now, of course, it's elevated,
Yeah.
right? So you won't even know that it's a car tie. Yeah. But it's still
essentially
it is there. You know, some people like rustic
looks,
spaces and looks, right? So instead of going to buy a whole new, again, so it comes, I was going to get to that, but since we've brought it up, it comes to, what do you call it? Budget-friendly, aesthetically pleasing spaces. You don't have to go and buy a 5,000 or 10,000 CD center table. If you can DIY and put something together for yourself. So for her, what we did was the tie, we stacked it together, sewed it, put a glass on top, used a very beautiful fabric to cover it. Of course, you use the mattress foam to cover it first, covered it with the cloth, and then put a plant in the middle with the glass. So when you're there, you actually see of course, we had to use artificial because there wasn't air there, but you can see the plants in there with the plain glass on top. That didn't cost us even up to 1,000 cedis to do that, right? It was just the glass we bought, and of course the piece of cloth. Everything else, it was lying around that we put together. So you can have budget-friendly DIY spaces. Yeah, you can.
Wow. How important is temperature in your space?
It's important. You see, that's where the problem comes in, because then if you're sharing your space with somebody and you're one person who is warm-blooded and you always need the AC to be on 16 so that you...
Some people, my mind is just going back to the office, like, so...
It's hot. No, it's not.
I know. So if you're sharing your space with someone, that's where the problem is, because the person then maybe likes it to be on 16, you prefer for it to be on 24. So how do we find a compromise? Because at the end of the day, if the place is too warm, the place becomes a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It becomes stuffy. Yeah. Right? So how do you compromise on your temperature? If you're alone and you want 16, go ahead. Suit yourself. You can do what you want. But if you're with her, then you have to now see how you can. But temperature is very important. That is why if you're not someone who is home all the time and your space is always enclosed, I always tell my clients, when you're leaving the space, try and open at least 2 windows. There's something called cross ventilation, right? If you have 2 walls and that windows, you cannot open this and leave the other one, because when the air comes in, there isn't cross ventilation. So try and open 2 windows. Open up your curtains, right? So that air can just flow in your absence. When you come back home, you just close everything up and then turn on your AC. You need that ventilation to keep the place fresh all the time.
I mean, listening to you, I get the sense that, like, there's a whole science to it, right? Like, it's not just about putting things together.
It's not just about putting things together, but it's not so difficult as you think it is. It's just, like I said, when the air comes in, it hits here, right? And then it bounces back. So imagine if this was also open. So it comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out. So there is that cross ventilation and the space is always fresh. Yeah. Do you get it? If you're putting a space together, we call something the flow of the space, right? You have to be able to move around. So you have some people have a open plan kitchen, right? There is island, there is the kitchen, there is an island, there is a dining table, there are couches. So every point, there is something blocking you. How about an L-shaped kitchen with a small dining table in the middle, right? And then your couch. So there is free flow when you're moving around. So those are the little things the experts will be able to tell you. Whereas if it's you think, oh, an island is nice, I want it, without looking at the functionality and the movement and everything. So it's just little things.
There's a question here, and it says, I want to know whether wallpapers are suitable for interior decor instead of paints.
Yes, it is. They are very suitable. It is what kind of wallpaper are you using? Right. The color patterns. You know, some of them is very busy. So then when you put it on, it limits what you can do with your space. But if you're using very sleek, neutral wallpapers, you can do so much with it. And in some spaces, I actually prefer wallpapers to paint because they tend to last longer if you install it well. You know, if there's a place that is prone to, well, maybe there is leakage in the wall or something that hasn't been fixed, you know, if you use the paint, maximum 1 year you're going to be, but if you use the wallpapers and you install, the keyword is installing it well. Once you do it that way, it can actually last longer. So it depends on the space, but absolutely you can use wallpapers. It actually also elevates your space, especially if you're using it in the bedrooms or the TV area. If you don't have the budget to do a huge console there, you can actually just use wallpaper and it will elevate the space. Yeah.
Except that people decide on certain colors and
that's the problem.
And design.
I know.
Like, is it a way keeping happening here,
know,
bro? Like,
I know.
why?
So what that does is, again, there are people like that. So I am one of them. When there's a lot of colors, it gives me headache. It gives me crazy headache. So when you have plenty colors and patterns, there is lines, there is flowers, there is this all in one wallpaper. Yeah. It confuses. Yeah. It's a stress on your brain. It's a stress on your brain.
No, it's funny because like I'm not even saying it because I've learned so much, right? So I'm just having a mental stock of how my space looks like. Yeah. And I know I need to do. I have a lot to do.
Yeah.
I have a lot to do. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll start from some of the things you've said. Thank you so much. But if I were to just ask a final question, what would you say your non-negotiables are? You've got a new space, you are trying to put it together. Maybe you could start from a studio apartment, like you call it. What would you say these are the issues or these are the items you don't have to compromise on?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, usually plants for a studio apartment, because again, there isn't a lot of airflow. So you need something to purify the space instead of using something man has made, which is more expensive. Can we use plants?
So nature improves air quality. Cool.
So it's one of the things that I would want to, especially if we are looking at apartments, right? Another thing that we'll have to look at, if we look at the living space, we need a couch, because you need to be able to sit down when you come in, right? If possible, we can get a table. A center table may be out of your budget, a side table within the budget, right? So we can get that. In the kitchen, we're looking at extractor, because you have to be able to cook. Yeah, we're looking at burner, we're looking at microwave, because we want things to be easy around us. In the bed area, we're looking at, comfortable pillows. So important, because we get up and every time your back is hurting, it's the position of your pillow or even your mattress, right? Yeah. So comfortable pillows. We're looking at, if possible, bedside table. It makes everything easy.
Is it not like a luxury?
It's not a luxury. That's what people
bedside
think.
Table, actually.
No, that's what people think. It's not a luxury, you know?
Yeah,
it's
but
not
like,
a luxury.
Yeah.
It's not a luxury. It's not, if I had said maybe bedside lamp, then you can say it's a luxury because you have light everywhere already.
I'm thinking, right? So what exactly, if you're not like stacking some $5,000 in the table somewhere, like what do you need it for?
Okay, so your bedside table, if you're somebody who takes medication, that's where it's good. You can have it very close to you so that if anything is happening, you can take it. You can put, of course, your Bible, your daily, those things you can put in there.
Even water.
I was about to say that. If you're someone who drinks water, even if you don't drink water, you never know. Maybe in your sleep you may be choking and you need water. You are not running to the kitchen to get water.
I feel you.
You need, no, for me, it is essential. You don't see it as essential until you have it. You realize that, oh, this thing is full. Yeah. How did I even not know that I needed it? You know? Yeah, so it's essential. Wow. It's essential.
I mean, I've had a really sore time listening to you talk about, maybe we should have you again.
Yeah.
Look at other spaces, right? Maybe your garage outside your living area. Yes. So, because I'm sure people have also active interest in making those spaces efficient. Wow. But just before you go, maybe your contact detail, somebody wants to get in touch with you. Are you on socials?
Yes, so I'm on all the social media at Yabanelli. So it's all together, YABANELLY. Yabanelli on Facebook, Instagram, and also TikTok.
LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn as Nelly Gbogbo.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn as Nelly Gbogbo.
Any contact number?
Yes, so if you want to reach out to me to learn more about putting the space together, you can call me on 050-142-8651. 050-142-8651. Yes.
Wow.
And you know, I advise people on real estate as well. So it's not just the interior. So
yes.
if you real estate investment in general, if you're looking for a space to buy, if you're looking for a space, anything real estate, that's what we do. So
as well.
yes, as well. So we can
maybe the next time we can also look at a broader real estate conversation.
Yes,
right?
yes, I would love to do
because
that.
Sam just said that, please.
There's
Those are not my words.
There's money passing
There's money passing within that space.
You have
It
no
is not
idea
clean.
that it's a huge industry.
Yeah.
We just touched just a little bit
part
of
of
a
it.
little
Yeah,
bit.
because like I
Yeah.
drive through Nana Chrome, like so many beautiful houses,
Yeah.
but the occupancy rate is like,
Zero.
it's scared. I'm wondering who are these houses built for?
Right.
Most of
So-
them are not even in the country, so they come
back
during
once in a while.
Christmas. And then,
We'll talk about it some other time.
Yes,
We have to
yes.
delve into that because I agree with Sam George partially. Anyway, guys, so there you have it, our conversation with Nelly Yaba, helping us through a conversation on interior design. And of course, like she said, she also does a lot of work within the real estate space. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we have a lot more exciting content for you, particularly sports. Not quite exciting because the Black Stars, some way, but just keep your dial right here on Channel One TV. We'll be back.